Good morning, everybody. Right now we're in Atlanta, Georgia, just outside of downtown. And if you can see right behind me, this security vehicle, this is the Carter Center. Now, as you probably know, President Jimmy Carter passed away yesterday at the age of 100 years old. And this Carter Center here is where Jimmy Carter did a lot of his work. He had an office here. And this is also going to play a big part in where his funeral and all that stuff takes place. So let's go and take a look and see what kind of tributes they have going on today. Now, this right in here is the Carter Center, and this is where Jimmy Carter had his offices. As you can see right here, the Carter Presidential Library, and all of that is on this complex. But right back here is where Jimmy Carter's offices would have been. Now, this is a very popular place to be right now. CNN and all the news networks are broadcasting live from this location. And as you can see across the street from the Carter Center, that's where they have all the press tents set up. Just over here. There's a lot of activity going on here this morning. Over here is the entrance to the Carter Center. This is the main entrance. And just over here, the Carter Presidential Center. As you can see, a lot of people have left different flowers. There was a can of peanuts over here. Lots of different tributes pouring in from around the country. And around here is the press pool. They have Fox News 5 over here. Lots of different news outlets doing interviews. But when something major like this happens, major news, this is kind of how things play out. Still pretty sad to think about, because Jimmy Carter, whether you liked his politics or not, or thought he was a good president or not, he was an amazing human being. And the amount of work that he did here at the Carter Center, trying to eradicate diseases in third world countries, and just all the things that he did. He worked on Habitat for Humanity for a lot of years, building houses for homeless. I mean, the amount of things that this guy did in his post-presidency years is probably never going to be matched. But, President Carter made it to 100 years old, and this is where, a lot of his work was done. Him and Rosalind formed the Carter Center. And the Presidential Library is on the other side of this. But, just a sad thing all around. But since a lot of people don't get to see the kind of the inside view of this, you only see the other side of the camera, I thought that it would be, kind of interesting for you to see how this plays out from the other end. Now, this whole area over here, if you can see this street up here, that is completely lined with news vans, news cameras, all that kind of stuff. This is just absolutely crazy. Now, I know this is a little different video than I typically do, but it's not too often that you're actually in an area where history happens. This is national news, and I happen to be driving through the Atlanta area this morning, and I just thought that this would be kind of an interesting thing to show you when big news like this breaks, how it works kind of behind the scenes, how all the news crews show up and they set up tents and camp and all that kind of stuff. But hopefully you found this somewhat interesting. And, for me, just being a kind of a fan of history, I guess, and especially presidential history, it's a sad day, but boy, Jimmy Carter, he lived one heck of a life, made it to 100. And if you think about, becoming a peanut farmer from a no-name town in Georgia to becoming, governor of the state of Georgia and rising his ranks to the highest office as president of the United States, it's pretty inspiring. But hopefully you enjoyed this video, and thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Take care, everybody.